Questions about the feminine polarity. 26 July 2026. Question: what role has the women's movement played in developing the feminine aspect of human nature? Response: the women's movement can best be understood as a collective awakening to a long suppressed aspect of the human nature. It was a distress call from and to humanity during the age of industry and technology to wake up and realize how emotionally barren modern society had become by banning the nurturing qualities of womanhood. However, as the movement took hold, it veered away from that evolutionary direction. The women's movement is a broad generic term encompassing many millions of groups across the face of the earth. In some regions, it is only now taking root, whereas it began to find an anchor in the Western world in the mid-20th century within a privileged class of women. These women wanted to be relieved of mundane lives as homemakers and to develop their potential and test their capacities in the workplace. They sought acceptance in the world of men and the chance to compete equally with them. The movement that began in pursuit of the right to vote became a quest to rival and replace men in their jobs. The aspiration to enter a world dominated by men involved becoming more like men. Women had been barred from the men's world for expressing emotions, prioritizing children and family, being concerned with morals and ethics. Thus, the early impulse toward equality metamorphized into a drive to repress women's feminine qualities, which led to an acceleration of social and moral decline. In some ways, the women's movement could be seen as an initial attempt to rebalance the male-female polarity in the context of a male-dominated world. In a sphere of life that devalued women's innate qualities, the result was inevitable. The repression experienced by the early feminists in the role as homemakers was replaced by the repression of feminine attributes in the workplace. The true balancing of male and female energies awaits the civilization and culture of the new era, when gender will have less importance and the feminine principle will be valued for its intrinsic worth. This will coincide with the emergence of the genderless soul, whose qualities include nurturing, relating, caring, healing, compassion, loving understanding, empathy, receptive listening, connecting, uniting. The expression of these qualities by conscious souls will serve to heal and repair the brokenness of the dying world and give birth to the new world. Question: how will the rise of the universal feminine polarity prepare humanity for the emergence of the new earth? Response: it is during the course of the unfoldment of the new earth that the universal feminine polarity will emerge and shift the balance within human nature. Humanity is still a long way from experiencing the rise of the feminine polarity. At present, the gender balance is heavily tipped toward the masculine aspect, an imbalance that is producing growing violence, anger, aggression, and destruction. Climate change is the result of a value system bolstered by the aggressive tendencies of the untempered masculine ego. Men who are devoid of women's sensitivity to their environment, their close relationships, and their relationship to the greater life in which they exist. Men who live compartmentalized lives, divorced from genuine emotion, and focus solely on ambition, are capable of behavior that degrades and destroys other lives, including the life of our planet. It has taken only a few short years for the unleashed aggressive aspect of the masculine polarity to destroy billions of years of evolution that produce the visible kingdoms of planetary life. Yet this destruction is fostering the rise of the feminine aspect with the emergence of the soul. While the soul itself is genderless, shifting genders between incarnations, its main characteristics are closely associated with the feminine aspect of humanity. Qualities mentioned in our previous response, plus others, such as wisdom, foresight, perspicacity, the urge to unity, the will to assume responsibility for a life greater than one's own. Such qualities will form the foundation of the new civilization They belong to souls incarnate in both masculine and feminine bodies.